Hello, everybody. I'm Ann Corson from Mount Laurel, New Jersey. I am a support ambassador and volunteer, and it is my pleasure to introduce you to Tandazo, Dream into Success of Dream into Success in Charlotte, North Carolina. Take it away. Thank you.
Thank you and welcome everyone. So I do mindset coaching. That's what I really focus on. And mindset has a bigger impact in our lives than we've been told previously. I don't know if this is something you're familiar with, but at least when I grew up, that's not something I was taught. And I wish I had learned this earlier. But I want to lay some foundations before we really go into how your mind works and why it's so important to really decide how you're going to use your mind to improve your quality of life, to improve your current reality, regardless of the challenges that you're dealing with. I am a mom of a special needs child as well, and so I went through a phase where I was dealing with probably not the best mindset. And I decided to go into personal development because I was really struggling in my life. And I felt that, there had to be something more. There had to be something better. And I studied personal development because then it really changed my outlook on life. My personal life, I felt like I finally regained some peace and control, even though, yes, some things are still there, right? I can't change my son's condition. But it changed the way I was able to improve my quality of life, my well-being, and also what I can foresee for the future of my son. Now, for you, you have your own experience as well, and you have some things happening into your life that may be a challenge, and taking most of the thoughts that you have in your mind. Now, when we look at the fact that everything is energy. And it starts with, even Einstein explained that everything is energy. So when we start with the premise that everything is energy, our thoughts basically send out a certain vibration. They send out a frequency. So think of when I'm listening to FM music, I can't listen to AM radio, right? I mean, if I'm sending a certain frequency, I'm going to get back what I'm not on that frequency. Same if I'm dialing somebody's number. I'm only going to get that person because it's all based on the frequency we're on. And our thoughts basically put us on a certain frequency. Now, the universe responds based on the frequency that we're sending out. Now, Johns Hopkins Medicine recently published an article where they were stating, studies have shown that negative emotions can weaken the immune system, the immune response. What is clear is that there's definitely a strong link between positivity and health. Additional studies have found that a positive attitude improves outcomes in life across the spectrum of conditions, including traumatic brain injuries, stroke, brain tumors. Now, that's what they focused on. But obviously, it applies to other conditions. And I want you to really take that into account because your mind is extremely powerful. And the thoughts that you choose are going to have an impact on your health and your quality of life and the things that you're going to create in your life. Because every day you're creating, whether you're realizing or not. Your mind is a goal-seeking organism. It's always going after something. Most of the time, it's something that we choose by default because we focused on our present circumstances. The reason you're here is we want to learn to really be more intentional. Be more intentional with the thoughts that we have, especially the ones that we emotionalize. Andrew Carnegie made a really, really powerful statement. And he stated, any idea that is held in the mind, that is emphasized, that is either feared or revered, will begin at once to clothe itself in the most convenient and appropriate form available. This is such a powerful statement. When we think about it, anything that you hold in your mind regularly, and you have an emotion attached to it. And it could be a positive emotion or it could be a negative emotion. It's going to somehow transmute into your reality because energy is always transmuting into form. So if you are worried about something, you're attaching an emotion to it, a thought. If you're excited about something, you're attaching an emotion to a thought. And that's what you're going to create more of in your reality. Your intentions are very important. When you get up in the morning, what do you expect? If you expect problems, you're going to find them. If you expect good things, you're more likely to have good things come into your life. Now, and that also really goes into the impact of your own body. I don't know if you've heard of the apple experiment, right? Where you take 2 apples and one of them, you talk to it just like you do with plants, right? With loving words, kind words, positive words. That apple is going to be healthy when you open it 3 days later. You do the same experiment with another apple, perfectly normal apple. You say it you tell it negative words, bad things, like it's ugly, it's not nice, it's mean, it's rotten. You cut that apple a few days later. It is actually rotten inside. Your body cells respond to the same things. The things that you tell yourself, things that you think about. The cells of your body also respond the same way. And so when we really want to think about our mindset, what are we focusing on? What are our predominant thoughts? I really want you to think about, what do you think about most of the time? Because our thoughts are habitual. We think, feel, and do the same thing every single day, 96 to 98% of the time. We're literally programmed. And unless we make a conscious decision of basically changing the program, changing the thoughts that are in our subconscious mind, we're basically experiencing the same life every day. And that's why we keep creating more of the same, our same reality, similar experiences. Yes, the events may be different, but it's more or less more of the same. It's on that same frequency again. So even Ralph Waldo Emerson stated, we become what we think about all day long. When you're worried about something and you have valid reasons to be, you have real life challenges that you're dealing with, you still have a choice. You get to choose what you focus on. There are things in your life that are positive. There are also things that I'm going to stretch you to do. I'm going to stretch you to do a few exercises today because I really want you to get out of the negative, possibly thoughts that you may be having on a regular basis. Now, I want to go a little bit more about how the mind works. We have a conscious mind and we have a subconscious mind. So imagine that in your head, when you look at your head, you're going to divide it, wherever your nose is, you're going to divide it into 2 parts. And obviously this is not really how the mind works, but it's just a picture, right? Because the mind works with pictures. Imagine that the top part of your head is your conscious mind. The bottom part of your head is your subconscious. This is where everything is really happening. All your programming and everything that you do on autopilot every day, that's where everything is, in your subconscious mind. And that subconscious mind is what's going to dictate the feelings that you have, the vibration that you send out, and also the behavior. Because if you're having positive thoughts, you're going to make very different choices in your life than if you're having negative thoughts. If you tell yourself, I can do something, you're going to go after things that are going to produce a certain type of results. If you say to yourself, well, I can't do this because of X, Y, and Z. Sure, that you may have valid reasons. Most of us have very valid reasons. You're going to make different choices and you're going to have different results in your life. So what I really want to challenge you today is really take into account, what are you thinking about all day long? Are you happy most of the time, or are you worried most of the time? And what do you see for your future? Are you allowing yourself to go beyond the limitations that you see? See, because a lot of the time, we hear things, we're told things, we accept everything as a truth. It's up to us to decide what we want to accept, what we want to believe. All of us have choices, and all of us can choose what we focus on. There are things we can't change, but there are things we can change. And this is where you take some control back. What can you focus on that you can change and that you're going to put your energy in? When we look at this quote from Bob Proctor, and he said something that I really think is important, is faith and fear both demand you believe in something that is not visible. Both of them do, but you get to choose which one you're going to embrace. So I encourage you to really change the beliefs that do not serve you. What are some of the beliefs that do not serve you? Because your beliefs that are in your subconscious mind truly dictate your results in life. They dictate your vibration, and they dictate also the behavior that you're going to have. Our mind is like a garden. So think about if you have a lawn that you're working on, if you keep putting overseeding with really good seeds, you're going to see over time that lawn really grow lusher and lusher. If you kind of let it, do whatever nature does, your chances are the weeds are going to take over. Why? Because you're not focused on what seeds you're planting. What seeds are you planting in your mind? We tend to let the outside control what's going on in our mind. We let that incident happen, the problems we're having, all of that be the seeds that we're planting. What you want to really start thinking about today is, instead of focusing on what's going on outside, I'm going to choose intentionally what I want to be thinking about. There's some good things in your life. You just have to focus on them. It's really whatever you focus on is going to expand. And, there is, you can look at people like Helen Keller. You could look at people like Stephen Hawking. I mean, he was given a diagnosis at the age of 21 that he was not going to live for another 2 years. He had ALS. He defied that. He lived until he was 76 and became an eminent scientist, because he chose not to focus on the diagnosis that he was handed over. He chose not to focus on the limitations that he had. He chose to really focus on the vision. And regardless of where you're at in your life, all of you have something that's really important to you. All of you have something that's really meaningful. Something that you want more of in your life. Maybe it's more quality time with family. Maybe it's pursuing a passion. There's something all of you have that maybe you haven't gone after because you're letting the outside be an excuse. Well, I can't do this, or I don't have the time for this, whatever that may be. I want you to really take the time today to reconsider, what would I like to change in my life? What is something that's really meaningful to me, important to me, that I'd like to add, that I have not been doing because I've been limiting myself? I've been letting the outside control what's going on. And so I really want to take a few minutes, and I'm going to put a little bit of music, because we're a goal-seeking organism. I want you to take away from this session today that you're going to go away with something you're going to focus on. And because we're goal-seeking organisms, I want you to set a goal for yourself. You decide what that is. For some people, it may be a health goal. For some people, it may be a relationship goal, whatever that is for you. But I want you to really set a goal for yourself. What do you want to create for yourself in your life in the next year or so? What do you want to improve? And I want you to take a minute to think about this and really create a clear picture of it in your mind. At home later on, if you're able to write it down. If you can't write it down, record it on a device. Do something so that you describe the picture of your goal somewhere. I want you to almost see it like a movie in your mind. The clearer the picture, the more likely you're going to be able to achieve it. And it all starts with then focusing on it on a regular basis. It doesn't matter if it seems unrealistic. Most people don't go after things because they don't know how they'll achieve them. I want you to put aside the how. I want you to focus on, what do I really want for my life in the next in the next year, or maybe in the next 5 years? It doesn't matter. What do I want more of? Even if it seems crazy, go for something crazy, as long as it makes you happy. That's all that matters. So let's close our eyes for a few minutes and really decide on, what do I want to create for myself? And I want you to start imagining that you're there. I want you to start imagining that whatever that thing is that you really want more of in your life, you can project yourself there and go into as many details as you can. What do you see? What do you hear? Who is with you? What's your environment like? How do you feel? So I'm going to give us 5 minutes to do this. Even think about what your ideal day would look like. A perfect day. Take the time to build the movie in your mind. Love to hear how much you built that picture in your mind and how it made you feel. For those that did it, how did it make you feel? Hopeful? I didn't hear. Centered. That's a good one. Anything else? Mm-hmm. True. Yes. So we can do it for a few more minutes so that you really get into building it. It takes time, especially when you're around people, and it takes time to really relax, right? And build that picture. But once you build that picture and you truly let yourself relax and be there, this is where you're going to be able to really embrace that feeling. Now, the key is to create the feel for the experience before you can experience it. Because this is truly, if any of you have followed Joe Dispenza a little bit, he talks about the quantum model. And seeing everything ahead of the experience before you can actually create it in your reality. And so when you start by being intentional, what do I really want for myself, first of all? And you'll never go beyond where you believe you can go. So this starts there. What beliefs do you want to create for yourself? And then deciding on, what do I really want to create for my life, whether it seems realistic or not. And designing that perfect day in your life. What is my perfect day like? Or what does my ideal life look like? Whether it's career, whether it's health, whether it's relationships, whatever it is. What do I want my life to look like? And building that clear picture. Building a clear movie of what your life would look like. And then really getting into that feeling. And learning to disassociate your current reality from where you want to be. And the more you practice in your mind being where you want to be and not letting the outside influence you, the more you're going to see your reality change. Your reality is always going to mirror what's going on inside. Now, you're dealing with some things. There's some things you didn't ask for. But the way you're going to improve your outcomes, the way you're going to improve your quality of life, your happiness, your fulfillment, your anything that you want to achieve is by using your mind for that purpose. And, when you really, really learn to practice this to a point where you truly believe it's real before it has happened, this is where you're going to attract ideas, circumstances, people, resources that are going to help you make this happen. In terms of, when you look even at the Wright brothers, right? That's a simple example. It's not medical, but look at the Wright brothers. They were bicycle mechanics. Everybody laughed at them. Everyone told them it couldn't be done. But they had the belief that it could be done. They had the vision in their mind, and they kept at it. And obviously they did it. But it starts with that. And that's why I'm telling you, what are some of the beliefs that you have that are not serving you? What are some of the things that you think you can't do right now, but you have a dream, and right now you're not doing it because you can't see a way? Some of the things you can't change, but some of the things you can change. And it's up to you to really change those beliefs that don't serve you and start building what you really want. And it's never too late. There's no wrong time, too early, too late, none of that. The mind, once you have the clear picture, your goal is to obviously keep it in your subconscious mind as often as possible, doing that reprogramming, right? And probably some of you have heard about affirmations or repeating those things. It doesn't really matter how you do it. You can do affirmations. You can read and write your vision. You can record your vision, as long as it becomes part of you. Now, when we really think about what's happening on the outside, a lot of us get pulled back and don't always have positive experiences in our current reality. What do you think? What are some of the tools that you use currently if you may receive negative news or something's not working? What are some of the tools that you currently use to shift and decide, you know what, I'm going to create a better day for myself? Yeah. Music, that's a really good one. Music is a really good one to change the mood and really get into a better place. What else can you use? Meditation is very, very good. Absolutely. Anybody else has other things that they use? Breathing. Is that what I heard? Yep. Breath work. Excellent. Walking in nature. That's really good. Absolutely. Did you want to say something? Walking. Okay. Walking in nature. Those are all really, really good. Something I want you to do is self-care. And that could be a walk in nature. It could be meditation. It could be music. It could be doing something that you enjoy, whatever that is, right? Or even if it's just taking time out for yourself, doing something you enjoy, whether it's painting, whatever you like to do, bubble bath, whatever it is. Really start creating self-care moments, because the more you take care of you, the more you're going to find that you're going to get positive, and the more positive you are, the more you're going to expect good things to happen. And if you expect good things, you're going to get more of those. Now, something else I really like to do is practice gratitude. And that really helps shift the mood as well. If I want you to focus on the fact that in every single event, even in your challenges, even in the most challenging events that you've had in your life, there is always something good. And I'm going to take the example of even when my own son was born, and we didn't know, he was going to have a rare condition. Out of this experience, granted at the moment I didn't know it, but it helped me grow, it helped me find a new career path, and it pushed me in a direction that I would have never gone before. And it led me to meeting people that I would have never met before. So there's always something good, even in negative experiences. So when I want you to focus on gratitude there are things you can be grateful for already. Could be your family and support system, things like this, right? But there are things that you can choose to be grateful for, even though it doesn't seem that obvious. Who in this room has ever practiced gratitude or doing a gratitude journal? Nice. Do you do it daily? Yeah. Why did you choose to do it? Anybody has a particular reason as to why? It starts your day off in the right direction. Your day, when you get up, you set the intention. How do you want it to happen? What do you want out of your day? Gratitude is the first thing I do. In my gratitude, I obviously list things that I'm already grateful for. But I also list things that I want to be grateful for ahead of the experience, right? What we were talking about. If there are certain goals, certain dreams I want to create in my life or for my family, I can say that I'm already grateful for them. That it's already here. Because everything is already created in one way or another. Everything is already here in one shape or another. It's just about transmuting, that energy into a different form. So when you do your gratitude today, I want you to start thinking, and we're going to take a few minutes to do gratitude. If you can make a list, make a list. If you can't write, put it in your head. What are some of the things you could be grateful for? But I don't want you to just make a list. Making a list is not the point. I want you to feel it. So if there's only one thing on your list, I'm okay with that. But I want you to feel it. To truly feel gratitude on that deep level, like you really feel grateful. And so let's take a few minutes, and you can choose to do it in your mind right now. And I really want you to pick something that you're really grateful for. And then I'm going to ask you a couple questions, if you really do this. What it was, why you're grateful for it, and how it made you feel. Okay? I'm sure you can do this for a lot longer. I do it for at least 10 minutes in the morning. What are some of the things that you feel grateful for? I'd love to hear. What are some of the things that you're grateful for that came to your mind? Family? Can you tell me why? Feeling supported, that you're not alone. Yep, that's very important. Absolutely. And when you did your meditation and thought about how grateful you are for your family, how did it make you feel? Safe is a good word. Safe is a good word, yes. At peace, probably. Yep. Very nice. Who else would like to share? Yes.
Well, I did more what you said to do to what I want to be grateful for.
Okay, nice.
I think in doing that and what the question you just asked, how grateful I am that I have the power and the knowledge and the resources to be grateful, because I think I'm so mindful of so many others that don't have those tools or that ability because it's not anything they've been exposed to. The one that I wrote most was feeling the power and confidence of being directed in my daily choices. And that does come from gratitude. That spreads to everything I choose to do every day if I'm grateful. And so many others don't know they have that power.
Yes.
To make those choices. They don't know what's out there.
Very true. Anybody else? Thank you for sharing. Anybody else would like to share? No? Go ahead.
I'm saying this not because you're sitting next to me, but I'm so grateful that I have a husband that accepts everything what I do and how I am and who I am. And I think it's really important to know, like the other person said already, the safety in our situation. I always compared it with like a deer with 3 legs only instead of 4. So I feel like when I have a predator behind me, or whatever situation in life, and without the safety next to me, I would be probably in trouble. But because knowing that I have somebody in my life, him and my 2 daughters, that support everything I do, I say, I feel, that gives me, I feel proud of the situation, and that gives me joy and like a big picture for the future.
I like that. The joy that came out of it. Oh. The joy, feeling that you can be you. Your full you. Yes. That is beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And so if you can, for some of you that are not practicing this every day, I strongly encourage you to start your day with gratitude. Start by writing out, the things you're grateful for, things you want to be grateful for, and set intentions for your day. I promise you, if you decide that you're going to have a good day, you're going to have a good day no matter what happens. You're going to have stuff happening. But no matter what happens, if you make that intention at the beginning of the day, you're guaranteed to have a good day. And I really encourage you to set a goal for yourself. Whether it's a career goal, health goal, relationship goal, whatever it is. Really set a goal for yourself. Because that's going to give more meaning to your life. You're on a journey, no matter what. You have years ahead of you still, and you want to make them as fulfilling and meaningful as you can. So create something in your life. Choose to create. I want to leave you with definitely, obviously, practice meditation. I think this is a great tool to really implement in your life to improve your quality of life. And there's even meditations out there that specifically focus on healing. Using meditation as a healing tool. Joe Dispenza focuses on that specifically. He's healed his own body through meditation. But there is just for relaxation purposes, you can listen to those meditations. And I'd love to leave you with a prayer, serenity prayer written by Reinhold Niebuhr in 1900, and he said, God, and obviously you may or may not believe in God, it's totally your choice, but you can replace it with the universe if you don't. And he said, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So there are things in your life that you cannot change, but you can change your perception. You have the power to change your perception and look for the good in everything. And when you start embracing this, you're going to have a much greater quality of life, and I promise you, your health is going to improve no matter what. So, any questions? No? Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it.